eyes, or you can have eyes open. It's completely up to you. Sit and look at something comfortable, like out the window, or just something where you feel relaxed, or you can close your eyes, um, and make a deep breath and exhale, and feel how you land in your body and become present and aware, and that for every exhalation you do, you fall into gravity. You feel very present here in your body right now. And that is a given when you do deep exhalations. And the more you do that in your everyday life, the more you get used to that is what happens. That when you do 3 or 4 deep exhalations, then you're present and aware right now, right here. That's a very easy exercise to get out of the mind and into your body and present and aware here. And while you sit here, I would like for you to bring to mind the parts about yourself that you do not like, the parts about yourself that you feel ashamed about, or feel guilty about, feel that is not exactly like you're supposed to be. And if only this was not like that, then everything would be good. It might even be that you very clearly see that this part of me is what is in the way for my awakening. If I didn't have a racy mind, let's say, then it would be much easier for me to meditate. Or if I didn't have all the obligations in my life, I could really devote myself to the practice and meditations and watch videos on YouTube and be much more diligent with it. If only I didn't scroll or flick, but went to Discord, or engaged in the community, watched all the videos, did the curriculum again, then I would become awake. So think of all the things in you that you feel is clearly a flaw. And when you hear other people talk about their awakening stories, about how they experience awakening and how their life is now, how suddenly everything was just easy, and 6 feathers has fallen and 8 feathers has fallen, and they can say exactly which feather has fallen and where they are, and you just get confused by all the feathers and can't really find head and tail in any of it, and not sure where you are. And one day you are in one feather, another day you're another feather, and it's more confusing than it's helpful. So you feel like they get something that you just don't get. They do something right that you just don't do. And if you just could figure that out, then you might have a chance to become awake as well. I'd like for you to really feel into that feeling of inadequacy, that sense of comparing that you do with yourself and others. And just allow that to be in the body. I know it's very uncomfortable, but just for now, allow it to be there. And then I would like for you to really notice what is wrong with all that. What is wrong with thinking like that, comparing yourself, belittling yourself, feeling inadequate? What is wrong with that? You might think, but my life would be so much better without it. Are you sure about that? Are you sure that resisting what is the way forward? What if you could allow all this to be here right now? And just notice how much of that is actually just thoughts. Thoughts about your inadequacy. Thoughts about shame and guilt. Thoughts about comparing. How much of all that is just thoughts? And can there be anything wrong with a thought? If a thought is not real, it's just a thought, and you do not have to believe in a thought. Is there anything wrong with these thoughts? If you, instead of believing in the thoughts and fighting the thoughts, just recognize that it's just thoughts. And what is left? All of those thoughts are just thoughts and allowed to be just thoughts. What is left? It might be a sensory experience of a contraction in the body. Can you be in a body with a contraction? Might be a sensory experience of slight nausea and clammy hands. If you do not attach a thought that starts to explain why you're slightly nauseated and why you have clammy hands, and just let go of all the thoughts and just sit with the sensory experience. Can you be in a body that feels like your body feels right now, without adding any story to it? And all you do is just allowing what is right now to be as it is. If you no longer identify with your thoughts, and you allow a thought to arise and disappear without believing in it, without emphasizing it, and what is left? What happens to a thought when you don't think it? It's not there because it was never there. So what is left? You're right here, right now. There's nothing about you that should be any different than what is right now. How can it be? You are exactly like you're supposed to be. There's nothing wrong with you. You cannot be inadequate, because this moment doesn't need anything. You do not need to be any different. There's nothing about you that should be removed or changed or added. If you think so, that is just a thought. And what happens to that thought when you don't think it? And in this moment, where you are exactly like you're supposed to be, and this moment is exactly like it's supposed to be. There's nothing that is missing. Nothing needs to be any different. How can awakening be anything but this? How do you know that this is not awakening? If there's no thoughts that are comparing anyone to you or anything else, if you do not have any thoughts about you needing to be any different than what is right now, how do you know that this is not awakening? I'd like you to make a deep breath in and open your eyes. And we would like just to talk a bit about this, because it's one of the things that is the most painful, I can say, when we hear people believing that they are not there. Other people are, but they're not. The only thing you need to become aware of is that is a thought. That is a thought. And we can look into 10 different ways that we identify and think that we need to be different, either via thoughts or via feeling or emotions, that we believe that we can be in any different way, that there's a parallel where we can, things are better, or things are, they are not like they are better. It's just 10 different ways of identifying. It's just 10 different ways of noticing, becoming aware. Oh, wow, right now I believe in a thought that is about that. Now I believe in a thought that's about that. So it's just noticing those 10 different ways that we believe in thoughts, believe in what is happening, instead of just letting the thought be as they are, not trying to change it in any way. Don't fight with the thoughts. Why would you? It's just a thought.
And that even extends to thoughts about I am awake, I am at this certain part, this is it, I'm done, I've become enlightened now,
Yeah.
I've had some great experience, and then you try to hold on to that experience, but every experience is just a fleeting moment, and it doesn't define who you are in this moment going forward or
the next moment.
exactly. And any idea that you have, even about having a certain attainment and being awake at a certain level, is still another form of identification that's in one of those realms of thought identification.
And can only be a thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. There will be posted a meditation tomorrow that goes along with this talk that we just had right now, that Todd he has made.
It was actually an extract. I had a one-to-one session with somebody, and it was basically an hour-long inquiry, and so I took about, I don't know, 20 minutes or so of that, and extracted it and anonymized it,
and it's coming up on Todd's channel tomorrow. And if what we just talked about was potent for you, then I can recommend you to listen to that inquiry meditation that he has that goes along with it. It's really important for you to just remind yourself that you are not supposed to be any different than what is right now. Awakening is not coming and going, it's here all along. It's just about noticing how much of your thoughts that is diverting your attention from what actually is present right now. And that is awakening. So it's not magical or mystical, or it can be for some people. is usually fleeting. And then they feel, but it felt amazing. It felt amazing, and now it's gone. That is not possible. It's just different.
It's an experience that has changed.
And an awakening is not an event. It's something that is present here all along, all the time. So yeah. Any questions?